taking a quick look at the Swiss USDCHF. Now, if I look at a weekly chart, I'm trying to ascertain direction. Now, I can see that from this chart, we are bullish on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, order flow is bearish. We've come down into this fair value gap and come down. Maybe we've hit this order block and are bullish. It's kind of not that easy to identify. We dropped down to a daily, and I do like these two up candles, but really price should have held at this level, okay? We should not have really taken out those lows. Now, when I look at this, I think, okay, perhaps that was to come in to rebalance something lower. So when I draw this gap and move across, I see that we haven't really come down into there, and may still, you know, we might come up there and maybe then go lower, okay, into this gap. So there's kind of some uncertainty there, but I do like these two up candles and the fact that we've taken liquidity on the left over here, okay, and from there we've kind of started to move up. I do believe we'll continue to move up, maybe another day or 2 days, closing this gap, maybe even going to the high of this entire down candle to completely take out anyone that's already short from that high. What's this? This is last Wednesday's high, okay? So here's my thinking process. I'm thinking there's a lot of people short, okay? They were probably targeting under these lows or into these gaps, okay? And anyone that hasn't taken out their shorts and have still held for possible lower targets down to here, I believe that the market will potentially go above this down candle, okay, and then come back down. So what I'm thinking is that we go above that and then make a move back lower. So I want to look for a scalp trade. That's what I am looking for. I want to apply some rules around this, okay, and I want you to study this chart over the next week and see how this pans out. So for me, I want to take a long, and I want to take a long up to the closure of this gap and potentially up to the high of Wednesday. But I don't want to enter immediately because the range is too small, okay? If I enter immediately, then the range from there to there is only 42 pips and up to the high is only 50 pips. That's not a decent range, okay? So what I want to see is I want to see price on the Swiss come below Friday's low. So that last up candle is Friday. I want to see the price come below that low and look for a potential long entry. Okay, it needs to set up at the right time for me to be interested. But that's the price point that I want to see that come in, potentially on Monday. Okay, if I get the setup under that Friday low, then I want to go long for a scalp targeting the high of that Wednesday. That's what I'm looking for, okay? That's what I kind of want to see. I might not get the entry. So that means I have to just let this go. So for me to identify some key numbers to work with, I'll drop down to a 1 hour chart, okay? And you can see from a 1 hour chart, we have taken out, this is where we've taken out that daily low, and now reversed, okay? So from that point, order flow is bullish, okay? Because we've come down, taken out liquidity. There's our order block on the 1 hour chart, and we have now completely engulfed that and moved even above this down up candle that created that low, okay? So the fact that we're above these up candles and these up candles, we are bullish, okay? What I want to see, and again, I might not get this, for me to be interested in this market, I want to see a move back down as a pullback, okay, which we should get because we've taken out this high, and every time we take out a high or a low, there is definitely a pullback. So I want to see the market pull back into this gap, okay? And that's where I want to kind of look for an entry. That is around the 88.50, and if I look on a daily chart, that is under that Friday's low, okay, which is where I want to enter this, okay? And I'm simply going to be targeting this high of Wednesday. So now if I measure my range, it's a bit more decent, right? It's up in that 90 level. So from that, I can take 50, 60 pips, okay? So jumping back down to a 1 hour chart, that there are also very nice equal highs and into a fair value gap that is above or at those equal highs. So this now makes a bit more sense. I now like this setup, okay? That's how I do my analysis. And I am still below this bearish order block and this bearish breaker that the market has not tapped back into, meaning that could be where we continue the move down. And my target on the longs is below that level. That's why I kind of like this, okay? So I want to be aware that I want to exit before I get up to there, because that there is the bearish breaker. That's the down candle in this swing low that has been broken. That's the bearish order block, okay, the up candle before this move down that we haven't tapped up into, and that is most likely what we are now reaching for. So if I am longing this, okay, which is the Swiss franc, then I want to be out of my long before we get to that risk area where we might start coming back down from, okay? That's kind of my thinking process. Now, I don't want to immediately long from current price because there's just not enough range. So I want to get a pullback, which I expect because we've taken out this liquidity. Typically, we will take out liquidity and into a fair value gap. That should be a trigger for the algorithm to now seek liquidity or inefficiency in the opposing end. So I want to see this come down. I'm targeting this level. That's a large fair value gap in this move up. I might not get that, and that's fine. I'm happy to leave this. But if I do get that, then I will be looking for what time we get into there. Do I have a long setup? Okay, on a 15-minute perhaps, or on a 5-minute perhaps, or even on a 1-minute for an entry to go long at that level and targeting these equal highs. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about on the USD CHF. And that's my thinking process. Looking at it firstly on a high time frame, weekly and daily, as we did. Looking at, where is the draw on liquidity, as I said, to these highs, but there's still a potential risk that we could still move down, so I've got to be aware of that. And looking at the charts, that's probably going to be up here at this 89.50 level, somewhere around there. Okay, so I hope that this video was useful. I will now talk with you in a future video.